big red light is on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I really am starting to use video recording as note taking, or in a sense, getting things down before the the ponderance or the arrangement of context and concept is you know placed somewhere on the desk. It eventually just moves off to another table, and this is how things could get set aside and brushed, brushed aside, and then ground has to be regained and all that, so on and so forth. So recording video, it's like starting to become rather handy for that. Okay. Oh yeah, look good, look good. Look at that. Look at that hair. Yeah, gorgeous. That's salt and pepper gorgeous right there. Densities and frequency state status. This is it's a topic that's talked about in the more so the modern esoteric genre, the metaphysical, the new wave spiritual, the occult, the um, the whole genre that's come about, law of attraction, and good vibes, and it's starting to move its way into the area of discussion and the subject area of incarnation, and then that takes you into avatar and being and beingness. These things in different facets are talked about in different genres and different, building upon the ancient knowledge that's been put down from civilizations long gone, or the great texts, the Hermetic texts, the Gnosis, and the things, the Emerald Tablets, and the Law of One, and just there's so many, the Kabbalah, I'm going to sit here and list all these, but if you're watching this, if you're interested in this, likely have come across this and have familiar with these. So these facets are brought up and built upon, and so we have this modern metaphysics, occult, new wave spiritual, quantum, uh, physics coming together in a sense. These facets are being pulled and their relationship refined, and understanding and discernment and clarification. And this is good. This is good. And this gets to the area of we got three Enochian words right here, and one is this density. Now this is the this is the generic mundane density of whatever it is you happen to be talking about. So we're not. This is not a word for specifically the density of consciousness as it pertains to the elements of the soul. Quote soul. I got quotation marks. I mean, this is the word density, like you would look it up in a regular dictionary. Mirole, mirole, and we have densities. We have the and it is just it is a plurality form of the first word. It also has it has a connotation of classification in with this word, and onalze, onalze. Then we have conjugate frequency state, and it's nehu okay, nehu okay. You can also ne wow wow ne wow okay. I'm gonna go with nehu okay. Now these is pertaining to the subject. The first point I want to talk about here is the octave density that is of a pillar. Now, in previous videos, previous discussions, previous writings within my books, and so on and so forth, there is the Aeon modalities. Aeon modalities for like people like the Hopi, for the Aboriginals, these they call the ages of man. The ages of man. But in a metaphysical, divine emanation, occult sense, Hermetic, this a gnosis sense of discussion. We don't use age of man, we use aeon modality of the manifest matrix reality of the perpetual Genesis creation construct. Okay, so you have the octave density of that it pervades during an aeon modality, then it will shift at some measure into the next aeon modality. These correspond with elevations in the cyclic progression of the predominant octave density of the pillar or pillars. We are focusing on the middle pillar, which is the pillar of man. That's where we are. This very physical, very substance, touch, feel, solid object, linear time. These are attributes of the middle pillar. It is not very ephemeral. It's not very ethereal. It is very regimented, past, present, future, experiential, temporal, dimensionality. The other two pillars, they are different. They're like neighbors. The houses on the block kind of look the same, but they're unique in their own way. So this octave density, what I come up with when I was pondering this was to use bread as a way of describing this. The second point or portion of this is the frequency state, the conjugate frequency state or status, because these can be conflated or confused during regular and fascinating and in-depth discussion. These can be conflated. They are related. I mean, you're talking about a system, and you have core aspects of the system, then you have ancillary or associated aspects of that system, and they are related. Of course, it's one total system, but the conjugate frequency state and the octave density of consciousness among a pillar. Well, these are do some discerning differentiation here. So the conjugate frequency state, you hear people in the New Age spiritual movement and gurus, self-help gurus, and you even hear modern gurus of the different faiths, India and Asia Minor, talk about this now more so than they did in the past, I believe. So if you consider the being that you are incarnate in as having a collection of energies, or you can talk about, more specifically, you could talk about the seven densities. The seven densities that the awareness is spread across. Now, we're not going to get into energy classification, grouping, breakdown. That is a subject that will take us away from this one for now. But consider the groupings of energy within a being, to have effect on each other and have a sum total. So let's just, for point of discussion, just for discussion, you have a being, and let's say there's 7 primary groupings of this energy. You could whatever. No, okay, just for discussion, and they they can vary in their frequency resonant state. Some lower, some higher, but there's a sum total. The primary conjugate frequency state of that being. This is the sum total of those energy groupings together. Okay. And if a couple of those groupings are quite low or getting lower, so on and so forth, it would bring down the total sum conjugate frequency state. Okay, overall. So you'll hear the New Age spiritual and different people talk about, well, you want to get your primary frequency up. Don't eat meat and don't be an angry asshole. Don't let your emotions get control of you. Meditation and try just not being a dick. Hey, okay, these are methods and techniques and behaviorals that you can adopt and to get that frequency state up. Also, you can use alchemy, the sorcery of alchemy, by just using magic, science, witchcraft to help you in the gathering of energy and the elevation of your sum total primary conjugate frequency state. Yay, this is good. And they use numbers just for the point of discussion. So often you'll hear them say like 1 to 11. Now, nobody can be as low as a 1, or you're a freaking, it's just considered, when they talk about this, they typically the 1 is considered like nobody drops to a 1, but if you're on the verge of a 1, well, you are in bad shape. And then as high as 11, and it goes like 11 plus, with a little infinity symbol after it. So basically, like, kind of quit counting after that because, well, it's a moot point in a sense for the people that are trying to develop themselves. It's okay. So 2 to 11, 11 being the goal for. And this is very important in one's own self-development and the awakening of the soul and the learning to save energy, which is ultimately sorcery, which is, makes everything possible. And it also determines your position for the harvest at the end of the octave aeon modality shift that's to occur and what is going to happen to you. Salvation or get the fuck out, keep trying somewhere else, but the others are going to go on, head on up. See you later, bye. Okay, so now looks like maybe the camera, I don't know what the camera's doing. I think the Facebook thing cuts that feed. I hope so. Alright, let's see. Where was I? Let's see. Video cut off on Facebook at 14:45. Okay. I was just finishing up that whole bread thing with the very simple. The density, octave density of consciousness as far as beings is one thing. And your daily sum total conjugate frequency state of each individual being is a status of that being existing along a octave density of consciousness that the others are also operating within. Okay, then I moved on to the second part that I wanted to add on, which has to do with the you've heard of quantum entanglement in quantum mechanics. Okay, so you can talk quantum entanglement, the whole spooky action at a distance. You got two things that they atomists call two atoms here. You got proton, neutron, whatever, quark, whatever, gluon, lepton, boson, whatever. And then you take them apart and put them a light year apart. And you do something to this one registers an effect instantaneously. And they find that, spooky action at a distance, they're quantumly entangled, blah, 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 blah. You could talk about that. Yeah, you could go on that way of handling it. Or you could talk about the forces of sentience existing and then emanating as emanation energy for a perpetual genesis of a collective dreamscape matrix experiential reality cosmos. And you see in books, the Bible and stuff, God knows the number of every hair on your head. He knows every thought in your mind and every fart in your butt. Okay. You have spooky action at a distance. Well, it is... Since the forces of sentience are producing the emanations of the energies that are creating and are responsible for the perpetual genesis and the dreamscape matrix construct reality, it's all coming from source, and source is one. So yes, the infinite intelligence of the omniscient omnipresence of sentience, it would know, of course, the number of every hair on your head, every thought in your mind, every fart in your butt. And the quantum entanglement, spooky action at a distance, you're in a fucking dream. You're collectively and individually in a fucking dream. And that dream is produced by forces of sentience. The sentience, yes, it is not escape notice any detail. And yes, aspects within the dream are still, in a sense, quantumly entangled. If you want to use it, quantum, outside of smallest, outside of the effects of linear time and so on. So, to answer quantum entanglement, God knows the number of every hair in your head, every fart in your butt. This all goes back to the emanations of the energy consciousness and the generation energy producing upon the pillars the perpetual genesis experiential reality creation matrix that you are rowing your boat of incarnation through. It's coming from, yes, it is produced and derived from the fundamental forces of sentience. The thought by something unfathomable. But each perception, point of view, sentience incarnate has a little bit of that thought, and blah, 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 blah. That's the old Toltec wisdom of the sorcerers. It's all the same. It's all the same. So you can talk about it through the physics, into the metaphysics, the quantum mechanics. You could talk about it with a gnosis of the self-aware, omniscient thing that is vicariously experiencing within itself, construct of experience. There's different classifications where there's the electric universe and the propan. It's a type of philosophy. It is a kind of a metaphysical philosophy paradigm. You've got a few of those. Those are getting popular, especially with some communities in the New Age spiritual genre. That all ties right back into the whole octave density of awareness and the sum total primary conjugate frequency status or state on a given daily basis of an individual being. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add this video to the video that Facebook freaking failed to assist me with, motherfuckers, and slap them together and get this bitch fucking shared. Cause man, I don't know if I want to fuck with that goddamn live Facebook page. It's probably the processing the memory and the fucking Wi-Fi. You take shitty Wi-Fi and average memory and processing capacity of a laptop, and well, you get what you get. If you do have a nice camera and nice hair, yeah, baby, that's some fucking sweet hair. All right, I'm outie.